the way you describe your dad, he seems like the alpha male, but not because he's like caring and this and that. It's because
he's really humble. Like whenever I tell him,
but there you go.
Yeah,
he has
really
all these
humble.
capabilities. He's humble. He's funny, charming, all this stuff. But that's because, and those qualities are only.
And he knows his emotions really well.
Exactly.
And he can act like.
You can only talk about those qualities of him as a man because he's physically capable, because he could probably fight, because he's probably 6'3", 6'4".
He's also very confident. Like he's probably maybe your height. I don't really know.
But the rest of those things, like you wouldn't care if you see a guy who's like tiny, who's insecure and stuff like that, but he's also charming, funny, and humble.
But also
nobody's gonna care. Nobody cares about the humble little dorky dude. No one cares. No one's gonna say that guy's really humble. You say your dad.
Showing kindness and showing love to other people, I think, is a big deal.
People don't really care about that guy though. People care about the alpha guy who also is humble, because like, wow, he's a big scary dude, and look how he's not acting upon that. That's a fully accomplished man. I have more videos I want to react to right now. I don't know.
Oh, that's the one dude. There was a viral video of him as well, wasn't there, recently?
Yeah, it was good. We reacted to that already. I don't know if you need to get going, or do you want to watch the video with me?
Is it one more? I can do one more.
I have 4 more.
4 more videos.
I mean, I'm going to watch them all regardless, but if you want to watch one more. Okay, let me put on deodorant. You can talk to her for a second, because I smell it.
Oh, that's fine. Let's see what they have to say. Yeah, I'm going to let him cook. That's all good. It's mel time. It's mel time right now. Are you guys excited about mel time? You got so much mel time today. It's like 3 hours of mel time. Oh yeah. Sneako time and mel time. I'm super happy because this is fun content for me too. The last stream that I did post that one on my YouTube channel. So if you want to go check that out. It's mel time. Oh, they're just gonna scream whore. Mel time. Whore time? Is it whore? Wait, I want to see if you guys are just gonna scream whore. You guys gotta say whore time. They're gonna say no.
What do you say to them? The chat's
going either they say mel time or they say whore, and then I said say whore time, but they don't want to say that.
They just said no.
Yeah. They just say no. No. Whore time. Okay, some of them are saying whore time. Whore time.
Zerk is schizo tweeting about this stream right now.
He always does that every time. Is he doing it over and over again?
Nah, just one.
Oh shit.
Okay. It's lel time.
Lel time.
Chat thinks they're funny.
I did see someone say, wait, what was it? I said fuck women and said
W.
Well.
Someone's saying abuse.
Well, W.
Can you admit you've been streaming for a while, right?
I guess. Or today,
is this not the funniest chat you've seen on the internet?
I feel like they gotta be a little bit more creative. They're very spammy. I like creative chats that asks like really intelligent questions. I'm curious if they could. They usually just spam stuff. Like, you know.
What about whore? Whore time isn't funny?
They could ask like yeah, whore time is fine. But it's because I told them to, so they're doing what they're being told.
Okay, yeah, you're right. They can be more creative. You're right.
Yeah. They can be more creative.
Mel's cooking. Okay.
Shut up! Like they could like ask like a real question, or they could say like, "Hey, I really want you to shut the fuck up because of this," and then they can like they could be cooking, but they're just gonna spam stuff.
I know, but because they need to get space, because you know there's not a lot of room in the chat. There's so many schizos in here. Okay, this is are men superior to women?
How does Destiny taste? That's the most creative one. He's very curious about that.
Are you gonna? I don't want to know. I really don't want to. Okay.
No, I know.
Are men superior to women?
I'm just curious why he's
men
curious
should
about
be
that.
the stable ones. Men don't need to be crying in front of women, and ideally, they're.
Base. Are men superior to women?
Like they're better?
Yeah.
Bigger?
Men should be.
Not really, but I think that we can be different and good at different things. I believe that.
What are women better at? Crying?
I think that we're a lot better at emotional intelligence, in my opinion.
I got it right before you even said it.
It doesn't have to be crying.
That's what emotional intelligence means to you guys. And
no, it doesn't. It doesn't mean crying.
What does it mean?
Understanding, empathy, communicating mostly, actually.
Crying.
Be the stable ones. Men don't need to be crying in front of women.
We're also good at leaders.
And ideally, they're not splitting chores. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, but I think that if a woman cannot look up to you in some way, then she cannot respect you. And if she cannot respect you, she cannot love you.
I totally disagree. I totally agree.
Look what the betas look like, and look what they put the alpha to look like. It's like pretty.
I think they're a lot more attractive than
what?
Yes, I do.
Bro, okay.
I do.
I'm just upset. Like,
see, not racist.
Oh, not nice. That's the only reason you said that, because you're trying to get back to the fucking KFC watermelon thing earlier that you said. Do you remember when she said that she hates people who like KFC and watermelon? Anyway, why wouldn't you as a man willingly sit down in a section that's called betas?
Totally disagree.
Step forward if you agree with the prompt. Men are designed to want to sleep with multiple women.
Jay Waller's gonna sit down. That's my guy. 100%. Well, the last alpha took a while to sit
All
down.
of them are standing. Wait, really?
Yeah, I would
None
say
of them
I
believe
definitely
that.
agree
What?
that.
You think the beta should sit down too?
Wait, why are they? Why? What? They're not designed, but like there has to be one of them that wants to sleep around with multiple women, or is it more just in general? I feel like everyone wants to sleep around with everyone.
Women just want to sleep with their man that protects them.
No,
I
not
mean,
me.
You're, okay, yeah, not you, but you also say
I'm
that
trans. I'm a man.
Sure, but don't apply your relationship to the rest of the world. You also understand that most people cannot have an open relationship in the relationship.
Most people probably can't, but
Okay,
I
so there you
would
go. So
say
wait, so what are you talking
I
about?
would say that most people would say that yeah, I would want to sleep around if my partner didn't. I think most people would say that.
I don't think that's true.
I think that is true.
Okay.
From my experience
Men,
with talking to
want to sleep with multiple women. I think it's natural because one of the things is because we have so much sperm and that we produce so much sperm, and that
terrible
makes
argument.
us want to repopulate the earth basically. And so a lot of times what happens is I think that society is telling men not to do that for whatever reason. You know what I mean? And some guys fall into that, but I definitely believe that men act.
Right now, Jay Waller's thinking, who the fuck is this guy? Saying he's an alpha male. You see, he's doing the.
Why does he look like that?
He's doing it. He's doing it.
Yeah, he is. He's a bot.
No.
He is. He's a bot.
No, that's
yeah, he is a bot.
it's an
He is a
Illuminati
bot.
sign.
He
We want
is.
to be with multiple women because it's just a natural thing in us. This is why you hear all the time, men always cheating and guys feel like they, trying to hide the cheating and everything like that. And if it was natural for them to just want to be with that one woman, then cheating wouldn't even be an issue. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, I think for the way we were cultured, I agree with that, but also too just through human history, right? For survival, I mean, maybe this is old school thinking, but it's just like for survival, you need to have lots of kids. So if someone's pregnant, how do you keep multiplying? You just more women, right?
Wait,
I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it's just kind of the way. I think women even
Did they
cheat too.
decide if they're alpha or beta?
Yeah,
like, did they?
so. Imagine like writing it down. Are you an alpha or a beta? Now?
Or did they like ask questions to pick which one is which? I'm so curious. Or did they just like?
It's like 50-50.
Yeah, I think women also want to do their thing, you know what I'm saying, in some
Kevin,
situations, you know what I'm
alpha.
saying? So I don't think it's just men. I think it's a natural, like I feel like because that desire is there, it's a natural thing for, if we're talking specifically men, that desire to want to do it is natural in us, so then therefore you're going to want to do it. So I don't think it's a natural thing to just be with this one woman, but at the same time when I'm with this one woman, I only want to stay with her. It's almost like I'm lying to myself if I just want to be with her, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that makes perfect sense. But the question is that the end point? Is being with multiple women the end point? I'm of the firm belief that it is important to position yourself as a man to have the capacity to be with as many women as you possibly can, and position yourself in a way where you understand female nature and you maximize your potential as a man. And that's where I don't necessarily agree that just because there's a deeper desire to continue to do it means it's going to be the most optimal thing for you and your own ability to thrive at the highest level and connect with God here on earth.
I was taught not to be with multiple women, right? But it's like, especially, I mean, here's the thing, especially when you're in a relationship, right? It's like, it's better to grow together with somebody than multiple people, which I totally agree. But I think in the dating terms, it's like, there's nothing wrong with being multiple women, because I think that's just dating. It's experimenting, it's finding other people. But are we naturally made to just always be with one person? It's like, if that were true, then these first thoughts of being with another woman, even though I'm in a committed relationship, would never occur. But it comes up once in a while. But it doesn't mean I'm acting upon it. So
You might be being generous about saying once in a while. Probably comes up quite a bit.
it depends what kind of relationship you're in, I guess, or how good of a day it is, right? Like, but I would say for me, if it was totally natural, even though I was nurtured into only being with one woman, that these thoughts wouldn't occur then.
Right, and the thing with me, I'm not monogamous, so I have a wife, I have a girlfriend, and I still, from time to
Chad, why are you saying let Waller cook? You didn't even say anything yet.
time hook up with other girls. You know what I mean? And the thing is, it feels regular to me. It doesn't feel like I'm trying to do it or doing it because I'm forcing myself. It just feels just natural, like it's something I want to do. You know what I mean? And so to not do it feels unnatural.
What the hell
you
is
might
he
just want
talking
this one
about?
woman for a relationship. I can understand that. But sexually, though, I think it's all BS.
Yeah, I agree. I think a man can absolutely be head over heels in love with a woman and still sleep with other women and it not mean anything to him.
Right.
And I think all men have the proclivity to want to sleep with other women. Now, whether they're able to speak to that and actually act on that or not, or if they've been able to, like you said, like religiously find a way to work around it. And I think religion has been great for that, because if it weren't for religion, we probably would not have society. But I think what's most important to identify is that a man should create choice in his life. And if you have choice, you should be able to do as you wish, particularly like in your case, like in my case, if there's no deceit.
Exactly.
It's the lying. That, in my opinion, is actually the overall problem when guys, tend to go outside of a relationship. They lie to the woman.
Right.
That's the problem.
What do you think an alpha male is? Mel time?
An alpha guy.
Hold on, let me have the camera.
What is an alpha dude?
Mel, what is an alpha male?
Here's the thing, if I'm going to be completely honest.
Okay.
I feel like there's been so many people that have said that they're alpha guys, but usually when they say that, they're extremely insecure that they have to like scream that they are. And that's like the only people I've ever met. I feel like if we're going to think about like an alpha guy, it's probably someone that's really confident, like takes care of themselves, figure things out, and is like very in touch with themselves and their experience and with their emotions, and knows what they love and knows what makes them happy. That's probably it. That's probably an alpha guy.
Here's a better question. Is Destiny an alpha male?
I think he has a lot of things figured out in his life, yes. But of course, not everything. I think that's pretty hard to have everything figured out. I feel like my dad is a really good example.
Why?
Because he has a lot of things figured out. He's very confident. He's very happy and goofy. And he's very like warm, loving. And he knows what he loves. He knows what makes him happy. He's a really cool dude. He doesn't like hate people. He's chill. Like he's very in touch with himself and his feelings.
What do you think separates your husband from your father?
Age.
That's the only quality that makes your dad an alpha?
I feel like there are things that make Steven a lot younger, that makes him a lot more, how do I say this? He doesn't have everything figured out yet, which is fine. And I think that's the thing, like figure out like what he wants, what he likes, what he wants to do with his life, shit like that. I feel like he has a lot more figured out than most people. But of course there's like more things probably that's needed to be explored. Does that make sense?
Stoicism and maturity are the biggest qualities you look for.
Say so, and like confidence, and also like showing kindness around you. I would say if I'm gonna define what an alpha is, what I think it is, that's probably what I would say. You know, like if let's say that Steven is not
says I'm dishonored. Thanks for the If Steven says what?
If Steven is like, let's say he's like always late for things all the time, and he knows that he's late. He knows that he can do better. I mean, that's like fine or whatever. But I feel like if you're gonna define like a perfect guy or a perfect person, it's probably someone that like is like disciplined in those things too, right? But also whatever makes them happy. It could be legit like almost anything, as long as they're like having like all those things figured out, I guess. But I think that's just like a very mature person, and usually I think that comes with age, if you've been taking care of yourself, I guess. Is that fair?
I think I agree.
Okay.
So when I was growing up, I was under the belief of just being with one woman, right? Like I was a virgin for a very long time. Then one girl broke.
Well, the way I think that you answered the question was more idealistic than realistic. Because when you talk about alpha, that's like the alpha of the wolf pack. That the analogy comes from the animal kingdom.
Are we talking about leader? Like what is a good leader?
No,
because we can talk about leaders. We can do that too.
Alpha means like the top dog, like the men that, like if he walks into a room, everybody respects him because not only has
probably
leadership qualities and can beat the shit out of the rest of the people, but he's the most competent male, and that comes in terms of physicality, of mental strength, and emotional maturity, which I know a lot of women think that means crying all the time, but I think emotional maturity for men means feeling the emotion but not acting upon it, like being able to always be a good leader. So the alpha, like the reason that the alpha is the alpha of the wolf pack is because he's the best capable leader. He's most physical strength, has enough experience, maturity. It's more than just things like you're talking about it like from a female perspective, like, yeah, I like him because he laughs and he's funny and he's caring. And
okay, I'll say this. I feel like this is like a nice example. Whenever I'm like hanging out with my dad and I'm introducing him to my friends or something like that, like when I take my dad to the park, he's been here twice, whatever. A lot of men that I introduce him to get really intimidated. Like really, really intimidated. And I
he's
tell
a top
my dad,
dog.
and I tell my dad,
is he physically intimidating?
He's huge.
There you go.
He's like a cop.
I don't think you can be an alpha male without being the most physically intimidating
I'm not
person.
sure.
to most
I'm
women.
not sure if that necessarily have to be the case. I think it's just like if you're going to the gym and you're staying healthy, and you're kind of like like you know yourself, like you take care of yourself.
But
I
it's
feel
not
like
about
tough.
knowing. It's not an internal. Alpha is determined by.
I mean, if you're, let's say that you're
It's
like
a social term.
yeah, but let's say that you
Alpha
go to
does
the,
not exist
Okay,
if
let's say that
without
you
betas.
if you only go to the gym because you want to impress people. I don't think that's very alpha of you. I think that's just kind of like
there you go.
you take your actions to like because
You're
you think
completely
about what
right.
other people think about you.
You're completely right.
Which is
A
not
lot of
cool, you know?
bodybuilders are the most insecure people out there. That's why
Probably, and
that's
I
why
wouldn't-
fighting is more important than bodybuilding, because bodybuilding is looking like you are physically
I
intimidating.
mean, you could always like fight someone if you get to that point, but just like walking around and fighting people, I don't think that's very alpha. Like
No one
trying
said-
to
no one
start
said that.
fights.
It's the capability.
the capability of fighting.
It's being able to take it there. Just like I said, like that last resort of anything is beating your wife. Like, it's the same thing in any other human interaction.
I don't think that's the case.
You're getting past the point. My point is that the last resort is always violence. It's always someone hitting someone. So if you don't have the capability to do that, you could look at someone's eyes and tell this guy's not about it. Like you can look at a bodybuilder and see like that insecure skinny teen who's in his room drinking protein shakes.
If you're an alpha dude and you need to beat the shit out of your wife because you can't handle like stepping away, I don't think you're alpha. I think that's you not being able to control your temper and your emotions, and I don't think that's very alpha.
That's fair. But
Yeah. I think you should step out in that case and should know that. That's a lot more alpha behavior, in my opinion.
my bigger point is I agree with your definition.
But if she starts fighting him and he wants to defend himself, yeah, fucking go for it.
Fair.
In that case, yeah.
My point is I agree that the way you describe your dad, he seems like the alpha male, but not because he's like caring and this and that. It's because not
He's
all.
really humble. Like whenever I tell
But there
him,
you go.
yeah,
He
he's
has all
really
these
humble.
capabilities. He's humble. He's funny, charming, all this stuff. But that's because those qualities are only.
And he knows his emotions really well.
Exactly.
And he can act like
You can only talk about those qualities of him as a man because he's physically capable, because he could probably fight, because he's probably 6'3", 6'4".
he's also very confident. Like he's
Confidence too.
probably maybe your height. I don't really know.
But the rest of those things, like you wouldn't care if you see a guy who's like tiny, who's insecure and stuff like that, but he's also charming, funny, and humble.
But also
nobody's gonna care. Nobody cares about the humble little dorky dude. No one cares. No one's gonna say that guy's really humble. You say your
showing
dad.
kindness and showing love to other people, I think, is a big deal.
People don't really care about that guy though. People care about the alpha guy who also is humble, because like, wow, he's a big scary dude, and look how he's not acting upon that. That's a fully accomplished man.
My heart. So that caused like a lot of
W dad.
insecurity, resentment
yeah.
towards the other side, right? And then I just became like a man whore for a little bit.
The problem is you have guys who are monogamous, but they're monogamous because they're forced to be monogamous. In a way, meaning that they have no choice because they don't have the skill to attract multiple women.
And a lot of times they'll use that as virtue signaling. I would never do such a thing. Well, actually, bro, you can't.
All right. Can the disagree step forward?
Here we go.
I remember when I would like go on tour and things like that,
Bruh.
my friends would always try to encourage me to like look at the girls that were on to me.
I need to move the camera so they can see. Angelo, beta.
But I wasn't really like into it. And it made me feel like weird, like off, like there was something wrong with me. And now I'm at a point in my life where I feel like I'm only having sex with multiple women, so I'm not weird, so I'm quote unquote normal.
What religion do you think this guy is?
Religion? I have no idea.
I feel like even when I do have sex with these random women, it doesn't give me any gratification. And I know that comes with like random sex in the end, but I know in the back of my mind that like I just like simply don't enjoy this. Like I've been with multiple women and I've been with one woman, and being with one woman.
Everyone's like so uncomfortable looking at this guy. This fucking guy's
so
pathetic.
disgusted
This
by him,
wheezy
yeah.
little. He looks like the rat. Remember from Harry Potter, the mouse dude?
The mouse dude?
The guy who turned into a rat.
Oh, yeah.
Was
I
it
know
Peter
what you mean.
Pettigrew?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I like sleeping with women on my tour, my tattoos.
He looks like he just came out of something really horrible.
He looks like he just crawled out of a woke cave.
It's just so peaceful. As far as like telling young men that they're born this way and that they should feel this way, it can really not do damage, but
He
just sort of
looks
make you
like
second guess
Aiden
things about
Ross.
yourself.
Hey!
Am I normal? Am I
No.
weird? Is there something off about me?
He doesn't look like Aiden. And chat, wait. Someone was lying. Did Aiden really say he was too important to go and call me right now?
Everyone else around me is saying that I have to feel this way or I
Damn.
have to do these things. But
He's the
yet
one who
I
wants to
don't
call
feel the
first.
courage to do those things.
I would say that's not true, though. I don't think that we should promote men sleep with multiple women. I think that we should promote choice and what feels right to you. So in your particular case, I would never tell you to sleep with multiple women. I think you might be doing the right thing to do exactly what you're doing and not do it or stop doing it. It's not about pushing
He's
it
so
on young men.
aggressive
but
when
I'll
he
tell you,
talks,
there's
and
a
I
lot of
hate
young
it.
men that have a demon inside and maybe a real
This is not aggressive at all.
He's talking like this, like, I think.
I think if you close your eye, this is why the blindfold. He's not talking aggressive.
He's not very charismatic. He's just like very, very stiff, and I'm just. I feel like he's just like took something, and it's just like
What?
cocaine.
Okay, it's sped up. Let me slow it down. He's not talking about.
I feel like it's pretty aggressive. He
Close
talks
your eyes and
very
listen. Close your eyes and
aggressively.
listen right now.
Really upset and frustrated with themselves because they feel a certain way, and it's like, oh, I'm coming out the closet, I'm straight, you know, or super straight or too straight or whatever it is. I think that it's really going to be about choice, man. So
How is that aggressive whatsoever?
aggressive.
You see how wrong you
I
are?
think it's just like his mannerism is very aggressive. I think it's
because
just the
you're
way
looking
he is.
at him.
I think it's just the way he is.
It's all appearance for you to make
no,
that
it's
judgment.
not.
The way he's talking is so calm.
Because he's sitting like this, and then he's just like.
He's like, no, I think that's the way that is, man. He's trying to relate to him.
No, I don't think so. I think he's just very like this. That's like how he appeared in the whatever podcast too.
if me to you, I tell you, if that you don't feel good doing that, man, I wouldn't do it at all.
Yeah, I agree.
He's talking like a therapist. That was the most. What are you?
I don't think he
What are you
does.
talking
I
about?
don't think
Situation. Well, what was happening, and this is what I think a lot of times what happens is you have guys who will have sex with multiple women because they're trying to fill a void. So it shouldn't be about filling a void. It should be about you actually desiring. So you don't desire to do it, so which is why you shouldn't do it. But there are guys who desire to do it, but then they're suppressing their desire, and then it's doing the same thing as you not wanting to do it. Like they feel weird about not doing it, but they want to, whereas you felt weird doing it, but you didn't want to.
I think it's a society thing. Like what you just said, who's making them feel guilty about not doing it? Other men. The reason, I think women and men, the question was, do you feel that men are meant to sleep with multiple women? Or they're just, that's what they do. And I don't think that's true. I think it's a part of your character and who you are. I do believe that if you're going to be honest with your partner is into it, but do I believe that we are biologically meant and it's in our head because we have to procreate and this and that? I don't believe that. I believe the reason we do it.
Derek, beta. It looks like this dude is at like a shaman temple and he's gonna give you ayahuasca in a forest.
What was wrong with ayahuasca? You were doing shrooms.
I didn't say. Who said there was anything wrong with it? Does he not look like he's gonna feed you a little cup and say, "Just trust me"?
I think that's a little racist.
Trust me. Oh yeah, no, W racism. Like I can be racist. I know that you're scared, but no, W racism.
A lot is because it's looked upon as a great thing for men to have multiple women. Women are shamed for that. Shamed totally. I have one son and two daughters, and I know the difference of how I felt when they were 15. They're in their 20s now. They were 15 versus him having multiple partners or my daughter.
So if I
that person has a very bad view of sex in general.
I wasn't even paying attention. What was his view?
Just kind of like view it as like having, or for women to be like multiple women or whatever, or like for women to have sex in general just seemed like really, really bad. So it just seemed like they just viewed sex as like pretty bad. I don't know. They didn't seem very sex positive because they were so against. It seemed like they were so against.
What is sex positive?
I don't. Like you're positive towards sex, clearly. Like
who
you don't
isn't
view
positive
sex as a
towards
bad
sex?
thing. I feel like some people view sex as a bad thing.
Who views sex as a bad thing?
A lot of women do because they're shamed for having sex, as an example, right?
Well, maybe sex out of wedlock or sex without procreation or something like that. I can understand people saying that. There's nobody. Is that really a take? People are against sex?
For certain people, yes.
Who's against sex?
Religious people?
No, they're not.
Could be.
They promote sex within a marriage.
Yeah.
That's not against sex. That's just.
Well, there are some people that also doesn't want you to have sex ever.
Who?
That's true.
Who?
But also.
Who? Who are you talking about?
You could say that for women to be sexually free and open, like having sex or having OnlyFans or being sexy online is really negative, right? It's sex negative.
That's not sex negative. That's sharing
or just like
with everybody negative.
sleeping around is bad.
That's different than being sex negative.
Well, it is being
those are
negative
different
towards sexual actions, whatever. Or you should be very, very like strict
towards
with
specific
it.
types of sexual actions.
I mean, you know what sex negative and sex positive is. You do. You know.
But you're making it seem no. But you're moving the goalposts. You went from saying that people are against sex to now saying certain types of sex. I'm also against people having sex with children.
I mean,
is that
all of
sex
those people,
negative?
all of those people that saying like that they don't think that humans are made for having sex with multiple people. I think that's like. Why do you think they think that? It sounded like that person just thought that sex like with multiple people is just bad.
For women, yeah.
For women, it's bad or something like that. Yeah, it's sex negative.
Because you get pregnant once, you're supposed to be fertile.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't necessarily have to be pregnant after every sex.
Well, this is where the Satanism comes in. Why are you removing the purpose out of sex?
Because you could have sex for pleasure, not just for making babies. Even dolphins do the same, okay?
Are you a dolphin?
No, but I'm a human and we do have sex for
No,
pleasure.
you're a child of God.
Could struck a check for $1 million and never feel that feeling again, I absolutely would. I really, really would. It's something that I really hated myself for, and I felt very apart. I grew up in the South Louisiana. It was a Bible Belt. And I felt very distant from people around me because I had this urge in me and could not understand why I was so different. Like, the biggest self-hate I've ever felt in my life is over this particular subject. I thought I was broken.
And I understand you. And me, again, I'm going to come back with, just being around a bit. And me, I'm bisexual. I've always have been. But like you heard me say, I've been married to a woman for 30 years. And I've been committed for 30 years. It doesn't that I don't have that desire. It's my character to say, this is my person, and that's who I want to be with.
So that's what you're making a character versus is the drive.
I was going to say.
Then that goes back to, are we just built that way? Because if we're just built that way as men, then there's multiple people that I'm going to want to sleep with.
But
They
I
just
think
basically don't want men to cheat on their women. That's basically what that person is saying.
Yeah.
I think that's where it's just like, it's just bad or whatever to have open relationships in general.
Yeah, good. Wait, what emoji are you guys posting? Those bomb emojis? Oh, rocks. Stone.
What the fuck?
Bro, because you said, bro, I mean, come on.
Oh my god.
what I was under the
How long is this
impression with that
episode?
question was
It's long.
Oh yeah, I see
It's
that.
an hour.
Oh Jesus.
Do
You're gonna watch the
know-
entire thing?
I'm
getting a little hungry.
You want to order food?
It's 1 a.m.
Yeah.
I wonder if I should wrap it up soon.
Yeah.
You think so? Or you want me to stay longer?
Nah, I don't want you to
You good?
just stay here and force yourself to watch an hour of this.
Well, how many hours do you stream?
I should stream 6 hours a night. Or 3.5.
6 hours. Damn.
I should. I
Yeah.
should.
That's it. Your job?